All right, so Dylan?
Yes.
What day is today?
Today is January 5th, 2022. Wednesday.
What time is it?
7:15.
When you are trying to figure out what the hell you're looking at 6 months from now, you'll thank me for that.
Absolutely.
Right? So we always start the recording in somewhere right in the beginning by letting the editor know the date, the time, the location, the context, so they know what the fuck is going on. They don't have to watch 3 hours of it to try to figure it out and then call you 3 times to say, is it the one with the blue paisley shirt or the one with the purple paisley shirt? I got a lot of paisley shirts. Eric, I got a lot of paisley shirts, you notice.
I know it's the third one I've seen.
3 in a row. So just saying the paisley shirt ain't gonna help anyone.
Way ahead of you, man. Been getting those photos, the
All right.
documents.
Here we go.
Dylan, you see that? We document.
Appreciate it.
It's how you prevent yourself from going crazy.
Let's start my day off learning.
All right. Welcome everyone to day 3 of the 60-day entrepreneurial sausage factory experiment. We're doing a 60-day experiment to see what happens if we share the practical realities. This is what happens behind the scenes. This is what happens that no one loves to talk about, right? Everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. I'm gonna watch Shark Tank and try to figure out an entire business plan in 90 seconds, right? What you don't realize is there's like 2 hours of shooting that goes into like each Shark Tank segment is like 2 hours or 3 hours that you don't see, obviously, because they edited it down to 5 minutes of good television. Everyone loves to see the success at the end. Everyone loves to celebrate. This is what actually happens when you're building a business. You wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning some days to get to the set for a 7 a.m. call time, and then you pick chords on your guitar for 17 minutes.
We still haven't seen you pick chords.
You still haven't seen me pick chords on a guitar. All right.
Some point today.
The point is, it's not all glamorous. The glamorous, exciting stuff that everyone loves to see and celebrate and imagine and daydream, you know, who was it? Kevin Hart was on a really great podcast. I'm going to tell you the podcast. It's a good podcast. I encourage you to go to the podcast. It's called 15 Minutes from Home. Kevin Hart was on the podcast, and he was talking about how people are saying, "Hey, Kevin, you're really successful now. You know, you're on these big stages. You're selling out stadiums. Do you ever miss doing the little clubs?" He's like, "What do you think I was doing to get ready to be on the big stage for this tour?" Right? The show starts on the little stages. And he talks in that podcast about the practical realities of what it takes to build anything. He tries like 100 jokes in the little clubs, and he picks the 1 or 2 that work from this club, and he picks the 1 or 2 that work from that club. And the problem that I see as a person who works with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of small business owners is, and I've worked with tens of thousands, but right now we manage hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of small businesses. We are the CEO of these businesses. We are the CFO of these businesses. We see what goes into running these businesses, to building these, some of the fastest growing businesses in the country. And it's just so disappointing that so many would-be potentially great entrepreneurs, they lack the entrepreneurial maturity to deal with the reality of it. They judge their beginning by someone else's middle, and when their beginning is a tedious, painful, unproductive shit show of trial and error, they give up because they judge their beginning by someone else's middle. And they're like, oh, this sucks. I'm never going to be able to do this. And then they quit. And they never develop the muscle memory. They never develop the skills. They never really work their way through the hard part to get to the part where you actually are just kind of doing it in flow. So anyway, we are doing a 60-day experiment to see what happens if we go live on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook Live,
Twitter,
and Twitter,
and LinkedIn,
and YouTube and LinkedIn. And this is now the third day that I've said Clubhouse, and no one has said yes, and Clubhouse. Why aren't we on Clubhouse? I've been asking about that for more than 3 days. Dylan, Deanna, does anyone have an answer to this?
Yeah, we'll make that happen for tomorrow.
We'll make it happen for tomorrow. Really. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I think we can make it happen like for lunch. How's that?
Yeah, we can.
Or do you just feel like we got like fucking time to waste?
We'll make it happen.
We got 60 days. 60 days can transform your whole life, Dylan. Dylan, pay attention.
Yeah.
Do you know that I transformed my entire life during the month of May 2011? Dylan, pay attention.
I am.
Pay attention to what I'm saying, okay? Because you need to take this shit seriously. We've had this conversation in 100 different ways, 100 different times. I literally transformed my whole life. I tripled my income in 30 days. In 1 month, May of 2011, I was on the road every single day for the month of May 2011. I crisscrossed the country at least 5 times. I didn't know what time zone I was in the whole time. In 30 days, I did, I think, 10 or 12 different speeches, 3 masterminds, ran an event, and worked backstage at another event to help out a friend, and tripled my income in 30 days, okay? I think that lots of people have this idea that it takes, like you're just gonna go and go and go and go and go and go. What happens in reality is you go and you go and you go and you go and you go, and then boom, you hit something. And then you go and you go and you go and you go and you hit something else. And you go and you go and you go and you hit something else. This is 60 fucking days out of my life, Deanna. Pay fucking attention to what I'm talking about. I don't mean to be an asshole, but this is 60 days that I am expecting to discover something amazing for all of us. And so we're gonna get it figured out by tomorrow. Tomorrow. What is 1 day out of 60? What percentage is that? Who can do the math for me? That 1 divided by 60, 0.0166. 0.01 rounded up to 7. Dylan, if you live to be 80 years old times 0.07, 017, that's 1.3 years of your life that you just fucking flush down the toilet with this I'll get it done by tomorrow fucking bullshit. You understand?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're 80 years old and you waste 0.017 of your life, you literally waste, wait, I say that right? 80 times 12 is 960 months times 0.017. Yeah, 16 months. 16. Do you understand how fucking pissed off that makes me when I hear you say you're willing to flush 16 months of my life down the toilet?
Absolutely.
You got to understand. And listen, everyone, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Live,
YouTube,
LinkedIn,
Instagram. Everything but Clubhouse.
Everything but Clubhouse, right? The world is going to think you are unreasonable. when you drive your business. Fuck them. You can't operate at their pace. They'll be like, yeah, we'll take care of this tomorrow. Tomorrow? You can't take care of it tomorrow. You gotta compress 2 months. You gotta compress 20 years into 2 months. You gotta compress a day into an hour. You gotta compress an hour into 5 minutes. You gotta fucking chase that shit. And you can't have people around you who aren't operating at your pace, which means there's long stretches where you're just gonna have to be going it alone. Or be careful to surround yourself with people who are going your speed. All right, so look, I need someone to get up here and keep the audience at home entertained for 5 minutes, because I gotta go pee before I do chapter 2 of the automatic marketing. So,
I'm on deck.
you're on deck. Can I just unplug this microphone?
Just please don't.
Can I just unplug it?
Turn it off now so the light turns off. You're off, man.
I'm off my, or should I just give the microphone to Jim?
You're totally fine.
Will they be able to hear him?
No, you're off, man.
Will they be able to hear him?
Oh, that's not good.
Deanna, Dylan,
Yes.
speak. Yes, go.
All right, go.
Go.
Would you please tell us who RJon is?
Tell it, Joe.
What of those people are?
Do a dance. Sing a song.
Dance, monkey,
Do
dance,
something.
monkey, dance, monkey,
Dance, monkey, dance. That's what a tight.
Go to the bathroom!
Tremendous. How
God
to
damn
do
it.
this.
Motherfucker, good morning, everybody.
This is Jimbo. This is our
We- We are live, and if you think that's unusual, you would be mistaken. We've got a full, great day for you guys. It's going to be a lot of automatic marketing machine, which is fantastic because every business needs marketing. You simply cannot live without marketing. And a lot of people overcomplicate it. A lot of people love to make, flashy marketing campaigns and everything else. But if you're paying attention, there's really only one kind of marketing that you need to focus on right now. Especially if you're at the beginning, if you're at the middle, if you're at the end of your career, and that is direct response marketing. Marketing with a call to action that's actually trackable, that's actually measurable, all right? And it has a call to action. A lot of people will talk about how it's educational based, right? Because here's the truth. No one cares about your business until they know you care about them. And with direct response marketing, you have the opportunity to basically educate, right? Along with a call to action. And ultimately, you're developing know, like, and trust, right? Because otherwise, no one wants to buy something from you, right? You good?
No, just keep talking. I gotta find something. I thought of a lesson to share
Ah,
while I was
cool.
in the bathroom.
Okay.
I mean, if anyone at home wants to learn
Yeah.
how to sell millions of dollars from stage,
I think most
if
people would
anyone
say
at
yes,
home
please.
wants to learn how to write copy
Yeah.
that generates millions of dollars in sales,
Okay.
I thought of a lesson on how to do that.
Okay. So before we get to the reading of the automatic marketing machine, and by the way, you can go to ammbook.com. aambook.com, and you can sign up to be notified when the book is ready.
What's that called that you just did?
That is a call to action.
It's
Right?
called a call to action.
A call to action. We call it a CTA in the biz.
All right, sure. So there is a movie with Sean Connery called Finding Forrester.
I'm not familiar.
Well, there is a movie with Sean
I'm not
Connery
doubting it. I'm looking at it.
called Finding Forrester.
Got it.
Can we maybe do a close up on that or something?
Finding Forrester, Sean Connery.
There you go.
That camera too?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I was going to point out that
That camera too?
I'm going to get it. I was going to point out.
Why do the Facebook people have to be third-rate citizens?
Hey, they're not third rate.
Then why don't you show them the video?
Because I'm going to point out that this movie, 5 stars on Amazon, 2,700 people. I mean, that's pretty, makes me almost want to see it.
Anyway, there's a really great lesson in the movie. Can I just get to the point?
Am I stopping you?
All right, so listen. There's a really great lesson in the movie. Sean Connery is this writer, and he starts mentoring this young guy who wants to be a writer. And so what he does is he teaches this young writer how to kind of like lubricate his writing. Like, how do you get started? And he says you start by rewriting something that someone else has already wordsmithed and crafted. Because what happens is if you write something really, really, really good, you know that you sweated the details. You crafted that. Like, what are you doing?
Just
Okay.
keep going.
You have to craft that piece to make it work. There's a logic that gets imbued. There's a logic, there's a pace, there's a feeling, there's an energy that gets imbued into the piece that makes it work, even if the reader isn't conscious of it. Usually they aren't, they probably shouldn't be, but it's there. And when you're really trained and skilled and you know what you're doing, you can recognize that. But even if you don't consciously recognize it, you still kind of feel it and you respond to it. That's what makes it work. And so Sean Connery in Forrester, the character, he teaches the young writers, like, start by just rewriting something that someone else wrote, just to kind of get your brain into the rhythm of thinking this way. And then you can stop rewriting, and then you can, like, literally, and it's like, just write for 20 minutes, write for 30 minutes, write for an hour. And then once you're in the rhythm of it, then you transition and you start doing your own thing, but your brain is already kind of in that groove, in that energy. And so when I am preparing to be on stage, and there was a question yesterday from Instagram or Facebook, you know, what my average sale is on stage. I can't remember the last time that I was on stage that I didn't sell at least a few $100,000 worth of services. So I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm saying this to impress upon you that I'm speaking from experience. This isn't theory. When I'm preparing, I have to figure out what's the energy, what's the vibe, not just what is the offer, not just what is the technical, not just what is the words. What's actually more important in my experience is what's the energy of the message. And so I'm constantly reading books, I'm constantly watching movies, I'm constantly listening to different music to get into the energy. And I find, like, sometimes it's an AC/DC energy, sometimes it's a Chris Pine energy, sometimes it's a Devo energy, sometimes it's a Nine Inch Nails energy, sometimes it's a Vivaldi energy. And different energies work for different sales. And so I start just immersing myself in this energy by listening to this kind of music or reading these kinds of books or whatever. And then when I step on stage, I'm in that energy, and boom, if I got it right, it works really, really well. So Mike Michalowicz is a friend of mine. I think if you were to ask him, Mike would say that RJon's a friend of his too. Mike. And he wrote a book called Profit First, which is a great book. Everyone should read it. Profit First?
Over here. Over here. There you go. Yes.
Let me see it. Anyway, Profit First, Mike McCallum. And better than reading the book is listening to the book, because Mike read the book himself, much as I have to read this book because of a long story that I will tell later, if anyone's interested. And so as I was preparing to read this book, I was searching and listening to all different audiobooks to hear different approaches and different styles and different flavors and different energies. And I was listening to different kinds of music to figure out like what vibe do I want to bring to this. And so I just want to share the introduction to Profit First by Mike McCallum, because it's a good lesson for you if you want to learn how to sell on webinars, if you want to learn how to sell on stage, even if you want to learn how to sell over the phone. Find that energy to bring to the conversation, and you'll find that your sales will be much, much more effective. So this is like a little bit of the behind the scenes. We'll edit this out. It won't be in the audiobook of Automatic Marketing Machine. It's just bonus material.
This is one.
Can they hear this?
Yes.
You want to do this?
RJon and Media presents Your Coach in a Box.
All right, forget about that. That's not part of the lesson. This is the lesson.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. The glamorous life, holding a
Profit First by Mike McCallum. And read by me, Mike McCallum. Now, if you've heard some of my other books, you may know I have a preference to kind of share some extra bonus content and stories, and I'll be doing the exact same in this book too. So if you've read the book, and this is kind of a supplement to it, you're going to discover some.
That's it. That's all you need to know. Right? All you need to know is that's the vibe that I'm going for with this thing. Right? I'm not just going to read the book. Let me read a book to you. Right? I want to share the book with you. I want to share the book with you in a way that a reader, unless they know me, unless they've seen me on stage, unless they've been in a workshop with me, they might not get the same experience. They'll get a different experience, but I want to give you my version of this really amazing book. And to do that, I'm going to go out of order, because we wrote chapter 1 as chapter 1 for the book. But the heart of the book actually starts with chapter 2. For tactical and strategic reasons, chapter 1 has to go first. But truly the heart of the book is chapter 2. Would you agree?
100%.
Can you show Danny there?
Yeah.
Don't even change your position. I want them to see this is what it's like, the glamorous, right? All right.
What's up, TikTok?
All right. So Danny is my co-author, and I'll introduce Danny more later. But here we go.
You're about to start the audiobook?
I'm about to start the audio.
Okay. We're on
Quick
this
question.
part.
Are we accepting questions from the audience? Will we have time to respond? to
Make
these
a
questions?
list.
Make a list. Yes, I will, but not right now. Right now, I got
some work.
I got. All right. So just give me 1 second to explain some context. Danny and I delivered the manuscript to the publisher late. The reasons why we won't have to talk about right now. And the publisher, let's just say, got us to make it up to them by producing the audiobook before the print book, which is why you should go to ammbook.com, AMM like Automatic Marketing Machine, ammbook.com to pre-reserve this thing. And long story short, the publisher pretty much is forcing me to perform this book for you. All right, now.
So we're gonna do room tone.
We need 10 seconds of silence to establish room tone for the recording. So you're just gonna watch me standing here for for 10 seconds in silence until Eric, our director, are you the director?
Production.
Technical director.
The technical director.
Technical supervisor.
Yeah.
Production
All right.
specialist. All right. 3, 2, 1. Silence. No, Dylan. Absolutely no moving silence. You're moving next to the mic. Okay. 3, 2, 1. And we're good.
Keep the questions for audience. I'm gonna have RJon answer a little later. Make sure that.
Gracias.
And let's do chapter announcements. So announce to the
Chapter 2, automatic marketing machine, Wednesday, January 5th, 7:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Chapter 2, automatic marketing machine. Chapter 2, do your marketing vendors have you carrying their water? Danny, my co-author, grew up in Africa. When he was 5 years old, his parents moved from Minneapolis, Minnesota, across the Atlantic to Liberia, a small country on the west coast of Africa. If this sounds like a dramatic move today, the way Danny tells it, it was even more dramatic back in 1989, before email, before cell phones, before even the internet was available to most people. Moving to West Africa under those circumstances meant telling friends and family back home goodbye, talk to you in a few years. Danny's parents moved to join a mission organization, a group that built hospitals, dental clinics, schools, and orphanages among some of the neediest people and groups in the world. Even as a 5-year-old, Danny shares that you can't really spend much time in Africa without recognizing many, many families live in extreme poverty that is unfathomable. That is unfathomable to most of us living in the first world.
Let's get that. Get one more time.
Even as a 5-year-old, Danny said, you can't spend much time in Africa without recognizing that many, many families live in extreme poverty that is practically unfathomable to most of us living in the first world. And one very significant reason why so many people live in poverty is that countless villages across the African continent do not have access to fresh, clean water for drinking, cleaning, cooking, or even bathing. So, by necessity, millions of women across the African continent spend most of their waking hours walking from their village to the closest source of water to fill up 5-gallon buckets and then carrying those buckets full of water back home to their village to meet the daily needs of their family. And then doing it again the next day, and again the next day, and again the next day. Many women spend between 8 to 10 hours every single day, including weekends, gathering water, walking several miles to a clean source of water to fill up their buckets, and then walking those buckets back home so they can turn around and do it all over again the next day. It is a manual, labor-intensive task that takes up most of their time every day. UNICEF calculates that worldwide, women and girls spend about 200 million hours every single day. I'm laughing out of nervousness. It's not funny. This is crazy, but it's actually true. 200 million hours. It's tragic. That's 1.4 billion with a B hours per week. You thought I was going to say year. Per week. That's 6 billion human productive hours per month. 72 billion hours per year. It is a tragic waste of time. This represents billions of hours of lost productivity and missed opportunity for real innovation that does not get to happen every year just because these women are forced to spend their time in a manual, menial, labor-intensive process just to meet the most basic needs for themselves and take care of their families. That is half the workforce carrying buckets of water back and forth, instead of carrying on with more productive work. They're trying to break out of poverty, but they're doing it with one hand tied behind their back. It is a huge problem, which is why there are many nonprofits and governmental organizations focused on trying to solve this problem village by village by village. And they do this in a lot of different ways. They're digging wells, they're creating rain catchment tanks, they're building dams to create strategically located building dams. And they do this in lots of different ways. Digging wells, creating lake. And they do this in lots of different ways. Digging wells, creating rain catchment tanks, building dams to create strategically located water basins at least closer to the villages, and installing water pumps and pipe systems to transport the water back to the villages. Ultimately, the dream is for every child in every village to grow up in a home where having a reliable source of clean, running water for cooking, cleaning, and bathing, what we all consider to be normal, becomes their new normal too. Most of this technology is actually extremely low tech and would not be impressive at all to those of us who grow up in a first world country where we take easy access to a water supply just by turning a faucet, where we take that for granted. In fact, once you know what you know about how to make these systems work, it is all so obvious. I mean, one trip to Home Depot and it's done. And profitable too, really profitable. And we know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, if it's all so obvious and low tech, then why don't they just invest a little time to dig some wells, create a rain catchment system, get the pipes, get the pumps, and build the system? Are they stupid or something? What's going on? Having lived in Africa for many years, Danny wants to assure you that the intelligence of the average person in Africa who considers it normal to devote half their family's productive capacity to carrying buckets of water, they're just as intelligent as we are. Their level of intelligence is on par with the intelligence of the average American. And lots and lots and lots of research bears this out. They're not dumb. They are simply unaware. They are unaware of how much better life could be. And that is why they do not devote the time, the energy, and the resources to create a reliable system for bringing fresh, clean water to their village and their home automatically, so they can stop wasting half their life carrying buckets of water back and forth. You are probably a person of intelligence. You are probably a person of above average intelligence.
Sorry, that's going to be an awkward edit. Let's go back to they're not dumb, please.
They're not dumb. They're simply unaware. They are unaware of how much better life could be. And that is why they do not devote the time, the energy, or the resources to create reliable systems for bringing fresh, clean water to their village and their home automatically, and instead waste half their life and half their productive energies carrying water. Good with that?
Cool. Yeah. Give me a transition there. Now you are
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Now, you are probably a person of above average intelligence. I mean, after all, you're listening to this book. Yet, from the perspective of someone who has already built and enjoys the benefits of having an automatic marketing machine that brings regular, consistent new prospects to our businesses practically at the turn of a knob, at the turn of a faucet. From our perspective, you are a lot like those families wasting half of your time and energy lugging buckets of water back to your business just to keep it alive and feed your family. Can you imagine what it would mean for a family to go from living day by day dependent on manual labor for their water supply to suddenly waking up one day and having a faucet in their home? All of a sudden, instead of burning most of her day walking back and forth to gather water, a woman could invest her time and her energy more productively. For example, she could plant a crop to lift her family out of food insecurity. She could take some of that extra food production to market and eventually save up enough capital to buy a donkey. She could then use that donkey to pull a plow, which would increase the crop yield pretty dramatically and produce that crop yield with significantly less manual labor. With the increased crop yield, more food security, and some hard currency coming into the household, along with the extra time not spent transporting water or manually pulling a plow, or recovering from the physical exhaustion of all of that, suddenly, formal education.
Suddenly, a formal education.
Suddenly, a formal education now becomes a real possibility.
One more time.
Suddenly, a formal education now becomes a real possibility. With an education, some extra income, and food security taken care of, this family is now ready to enter the workforce, start a small business, or just enjoy the benefits of a standard of living that you probably already take for granted, which includes time for rest, recreation, and planning for a better future. That's a really big deal. What else? You know what else could be a really big deal? It could be a really big deal if you could go from waking up every morning at the crack of dawn so you can head down to the river with your 5-gallon bucket of water to lug back some prospective new clients back to your office or your place of business in order to keep your business and your family alive. Can you just imagine what a transformation it would be for that family living in remote Africa to wake up 6 months from now and have the benefits of reliable, clean water with the mere turn of a faucet? Can you imagine what a transformation it would be for your own family to wake up 6 months from now and have the benefits of a reliable and a predictable stream of prospective new clients for your business because you followed the instructions contained in this book and you built an automatic marketing machine for your own business? Well, if this is all so obvious, then why doesn't every small business owner create an automatic marketing machine of their very own? Well, like water for the human body, your business requires a steady flow of prospective new clients and customers in order to survive and grow. The human body cannot last more than a week or two at most without water. And your business won't much
Like water.
like water for the human body. Your business requires a steady flow of prospective new customers.
Nice deep breath. Clear it out.
Like water for the human body, your business requires a steady flow of prospective new customers or clients in order to survive and grow. One last time. Like water for the human body, your business requires a steady flow of prospective new customers and clients in order to grow or even just to survive. The human body cannot last more than a week or two without water, and your business won't last much longer without paying customers. You probably thought we were going to say new customers or clients, didn't you? Well, in reality, prospective new customers and clients, the right kinds of prospective new customers or clients, we're just going to call them prospects. They're even more important to the long-term health of your business than new clients are. This is because having a steady and a reliable flow of prospects empowers you to be selective. I want you to just imagine what would happen the next time you lug your buckets of water all the way back from the river. Imagine if you find a dead fish in the bottom of that bucket or some ugly goop. Well, if your choices are between making the best of it or telling your family, hey, there's no water today, or walk all the way back to the river, if you're being completely honest with yourself, what choice do you already know most small business owners are probably going to make? I know the choice I used to make, and it wasn't pretty. So yes, ultimately, your business needs new clients and customers to make payroll, cover rent, and give your family a profit. But your sanity requires standards to be kept. And it is a lot easier to keep your standards when you can turn a faucet and bring more prospects to choose from. When you can do this, it just completely transforms. When you can do this, it just completely transforms, for the better, the relationship between. When you can do this, it just completely transforms, for the better. When you can do this, it just completely transforms, for the better, the relationship between your business and your customers. When you can do this, it just completely transforms, for the better, the relationship between your business and its customers or clients. This is the kind of new normal that we wrote this book to help you create. It's how thousands of our own clients are already living, because they built an automatic marketing machine just like you can by following the instructions in this book and in the bonus materials that you'll find listed throughout the book and at the end. And we want nothing less for you and your family too. But guys, if this is all so obvious, then why doesn't every small business owner create an automatic marketing machine, hey? Well, look, the answer isn't because they're stupid either. Instead, it is because they just don't know how much better their life really could be. And that is why they don't go out and search for a better way, which is why they don't wind up reading or listening to books like this to educate themselves about how to do it. Like we said, the truth will set you free, but first, it will piss you off. And yes, it really is that simple.
Boom. All right, let's, you've got a code on your phone. Let's,
Good?
Great.
that was great.
Really great.
Yeah,
Really great.
marker on that one.
Second for the question.
No, I'm not done hearing everyone tell me how great it was.
All right.
Oh, it was great!
I haven't heard
So
from
great.
Dylan. I haven't heard from Dylan. Come on.
So great. Woo!
Now you're embarrassing me. Tone it down. Now you're embarrassing me. Dylan, you need this code?
Yes, sir.
It is 22395.
22395.
For everyone at home, that code means nothing to you.
You sure that's it?
That's not password to your credit card?
22395. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the code. The code is 542699.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, let's take a question because Jimbo left. So until Jimbo gets back, hang on. I'm going to put this over here. Ugh.
Oh, I'm gonna change this. Or
Break.
The question is, many business people want to write books. Why is that?
many business people want to write books. Why is that? Well, speaking on behalf of every business owner in the world, let me tell you, I don't fucking know. I mean, everyone's got to listen. There's some good reasons to write a book, and I'll tell you some really bad reasons to write a book. Unfortunately, a lot of people write books for the wrong reasons. Don't write a book because you think it's going to make you rich. That's not why you write a book. That's not the reality of why you write a book. Look, you write a book for principally one of three strategic reasons. And it is important, I think, to be intentional about your strategy for writing the book so you don't end up wandering all over the place in the book. Danny, maybe you can help me with this. Danny is my co-author. I'm reading the book, but we wrote the book. One very good, legitimate reason to write a book is because you want to leave a legacy.
That was exactly the question from
Ray Dalio wrote Principles. I believe, I've never met the man, but I believe that he wrote that book truly to leave a legacy. This is why you do an estate plan. You want to leave something and for your family, for future generations. You got to where you were because of other people believing in a pay it forward ethos. And I do a lot of things for pay it forward reasons. Other people paid it forward, and that's why we are able to do what we're able to do.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just jump in for a second, in all sincerity, my life as an entrepreneur would not exist if not for a few books. Like there are a specific handful of books that I can trace basically all of my growth back to. And E-Myth by Michael Gerber is the first one that pops in my mind. But, so for me, part of writing a book is paying it forward, just knowing that, listen, like there are people out there who have the desire, who have the drive, who have the dream, and just genuinely don't know how to get there.
They don't know that you can actually go to Home Depot, buy some stuff, and build a pipeline system and save your family half of its productive time and energy carrying water back and forth. They just don't know how to build an automatic marketing machine. That's part of the reason we wrote this book. That's not the primary strategy for this particular book. A book can serve one particular, a book can serve one specific strategy, but also do other things. It doesn't have to be one at the exclusion of everything else, right? But is your primary main objective going to be just leaving a legacy, paying it forward? Not the main reason we wrote this book, although that's a side benefit. A second reason to write a book is to enroll, to indoctrinate people you already have a relationship with, your staff, your prospective new customers, your referral sources. A friend of mine used to have a very, very successful, ostensibly it was a technology company, but really it was they did strategic planning. They used technology as a word I'm looking for. There's a room full of people looking at me.
Catalyst.
Child, help us.
And no one is, they're like watching me drown here.
Oh, what is he?
He used technology as a context, as a framework for real people. Really hired his company for strategic planning, for business strategy. Anyway, he would give prospective new customers, his prospective new clients, he would give them Seth Godin's Purple Cow, which is a great book. And he would basically say, please read this book, let me know what you think. And if they didn't love Purple Cow, he wasn't even interested in working with them. But what would happen is people would read Purple Cow and they go, oh my God, that's exactly what I want to do. And then he would, of course, become the only person they could work with because he's the only one who spoke the purple cow language. So qualifying, disqualifying, enrolling, indoctrinating, that's a really legitimate reason to write a book. I have a book that I wrote that I read from yesterday. It's our manifesto, our statement of values. A third reason to write a book, I guess there's now 4 that I thought of. A third reason to write a book is essentially as a calling card, as a credential builder. Whether we like it or not, we live in a society where having a book establishes a certain credibility. And if you want to get onto stages, if you want to get onto podcasts, if you want to be interviewed by people who have an audience, it really, really helps to have a book. It helps if it's a good book. It helps if the book has a following, and that is a really legitimate strategy for writing a book. And that is decidedly one of the reasons we're writing this book. You have an audience, if you have a big stage, if you have a podcast, Danny and I want to be your guest. Particularly if your audience are entrepreneurs and business owners, if your audience are Girl Scouts. No disrespect, but I don't give a shit.
Unless they're cookie selling
Girl Scouts
Girl
who are
Scouts.
cookie selling entrepreneurial Girl Scouts. Or the daughters of some entrepreneurs.
And where can we stay up to date on the book?
The book, ammbook.com, which brings me to the fourth reason to write a book. You write a book to build an audience of your own. And throughout this book, we have done, even if I do have to say so myself, since I have a studio of people who aren't saying it for me. Danny's too modest to say it, so I'm just gonna have to say it. We've done a pretty brilliant job of engineering calls to action throughout this book. We've given you lots of reasons throughout this book to opt in for different bonuses and tools and additional resources and opportunities. And depending on which of those tools and resources and opportunities you opt in for and which ones you don't opt in for, we will know a lot about you. If you opt in for all of the things that have to do with oranges and you don't opt in for anything that has to do with apples, well, we know that you're into oranges and you're not into apples. You get the idea. So those are the 4 main reasons that I can think why a business owner would write a book.
They say thank you and that they took notes.
All right, let's get back to it.
All right, I have to do the introduction now.
Okay.
I felt like energetically. Dylan, can I get some tissues, please?
Yep.
I felt like energetically that's the soul of the book, that chapter. It's just, and for everyone at home, you'll understand if you're paying attention and you're following along why that couldn't be the introduction. The introduction had to go first for some very tactical reasons. Thanks.
No problem.
Dylan?
Yep.
Would you prefer to take my dirty tissue in your hand, pick it up off the floor later, or bring me a garbage can?
I'm going to go with C, Bob.
Just twist the phone and
All right, that's better. Thanks, DJ.
All right, you good on water, you good on coffee? Where you at?
I'm waiting for a garbage can,
Okay.
so I don't drop this tissue on the floor.
Cool.
I won't even have to pick it up. All good?
Yep, you're good on liquids?
I'm
Restroom,
good.
you're good?
I'm good on fluids. Good? All right.
Okay,
All right.
So we're gonna do a room tone for each chapter.
Good.
That's what you want, so.
10-second room tone.
In 3, 2, 1, silence. All right, good. And let's give that editor note. Introduce editor note. Wednesday, January 5th, 2022, 8:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Automatic Marketing Machine Introduction, which precedes Chapter 1. Good to go?
Good to go.
Introduction. Hey, you're here. You finally found it. This is a very special place that we have created for small business owners who are seeking to answer that common nagging question. Our products and services are the best around, so why am I always scrambling desperately to find new customers and clients? All businesses face the same challenge: how to attract a steady stream of the right kinds of clients, predictably, reliably.
One more time.
All businesses face the same challenge. Did you wordsmith this last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would add that that is too.
Yeah. All businesses face the same challenge. That is, how to create them. All businesses face the same challenge. That is, how to create a steady stream of the right kinds of clients or customers or patients or passengers or diners or whatever you call them in your business. How do you create this steady stream of these prospects predictably, reliably, and consistently in order to produce steady and growing cash flow, which gives you enough confidence so that you don't have to accept work from crazy clients or customers just to make payroll next week? Now, if this does not resonate with you, chances are you are not the owner of the business that you work for. If you do own a business, then I know this resonates with you. You get it. And regardless of what industry you're in, no matter how big or how small your team may be today, and irrespective of your past success, Danny, my co-author, and I, we want to congratulate you for being a fellow entrepreneur. Truly, you are the engine of the world. Rest assured, while you hold this book in your hands or listen to this audiobook, you are with other like-minded entrepreneurs. We are friends who know what it's like to sit in the seat where the buck actually stops. This book is 100% based upon real-world, direct response, education-based marketing strategies that have the power to consistently and predictably attract the right kinds of customers and clients to your business. Each strategy you are going to be discovering throughout this book has been proven by thousands.
One more time.
Each strategy you're going to be discovering throughout this book has been proven by thousands, not hundreds, many thousands of small businesses in every industry that you could probably even imagine. They're operating in large cities, they're operating in small towns, and everything in between, all over the world. They're men, they're women, they're men, they're women, they're non-binary, they're men, they're women. They are non-binary creatures of all ages, all attitudes, all walks of life. Some are tall, some are short, some are right-handed, some are left. Anyone can do this, and everyone who does it gets great results. You've worked hard, you've created a solid reputation, and you've done great work with a long list of happy and appreciative clients and customers. But you've discovered that just doing great work does not automatically attract prospects to your door. So let's just get this out of the way right now. The business owners who are out there bragging that they get all their business by reputation and referral, listen, either they're lying to you or their business is not serving nearly as many people as it could be, which is a polite way of saying they might be broke. Or else they are naive to the facts, and there is a grown-up behind the scenes attending to the marketing of their business so that the kiddies at the kiddie table don't have to concern themselves with where the food comes from. You've tried marketing. You've spent serious money
Can you-
on
Sorry, you made me laugh, and I just needed to get that out. Just give me and let me guess. You've tried, right? It's like you've had this conversation so many times. Okay.
So look, we've heard it before. We know. You've tried marketing. You've spent serious money on advertising that did not work. Direct mail that under-delivered. Pay-per-click advertising that drained your bank account dry. And probably a host of other approaches, none of which deliver the results you were hoping for or the results which you were promised. So look, like most entrepreneurs, we know you sometimes feel confused and overwhelmed. We even get confused and overwhelmed sometimes. We're getting hammered on all sides with all these different people saying, do this, do that, and feeling like you have to press harder to do more and more just to get by. Well, we are here to help you. We are here to help you mute all that noise and provide you with a set of practical and proven principles. Not just theories, not just a bunch of random tactics, not the latest technology doohickey. We're also going to be sharing the resources that you will need to consistently and automatically attract prospects who are ready, willing, and able to engage your services or buy products from your company. And by that, we mean we're going to show you a scalable marketing machine, not only to attract new leads, but also to convert those leads into appointments and turn those appointments into business and multiply each of your clients or customers or patients or passengers or diners into 2 more or 4 and then 8. Marketing is an ever-changing world as new media seems to be popping up every day. But if you learn the fundamental principles that have allowed some of the most successful businesses in the world to attract a steady stream of prospects, you can make any media work in any market at any time, regardless of what might be happening with anyone else. When you develop a machine that automatically feeds new prospects to your business on a daily basis, you will never again have to feel that anxiety of wondering where or when your next infusion of cash is going to come from. In fact, you can finally know the answer to the question that haunts so many hundreds of thousands of struggling entrepreneurs. Our products and services are some of the best around. So why are we always scrambling to find new prospects and customers or clients? We good?
Yeah.
Good.
Great.
When I'm doing this, I have no self-perception of how I'm doing. And the minute I step off stage, I just forget, not on purpose, I just forget everything I just did. And that's why I just need to check to make sure that I got it. Because I'm so in it that I forget about what I'm doing.
I feel like I'm listening to Audible, to tell you the truth. So
You feel like you're listening to Audible?
Yeah.
Good.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
you just say,
it is.
this is Audible.
This is Audible.
Okay, stretch it out.
We're
Take
great
a break.
ideas.
Deep breath. So,
Where did these ideas originate? These ideas began with a discovery, or more accurately, a series of discoveries that could well form the most important realization you may ever arrive at as an entrepreneur. Notice I said may arrive at, so that they don't get pissed off at you pretentious prick. Don't tell me that this is the best thing I'll ever do in my life. I'm qualified.
Okay, so let's do that
Because
one more time.
Because it's not enough. Look, the editor could leave that in there. I think it's kind of fun.
Okay.
I entertain myself.
Okay. Because here's the truth.
I can't do this without entertaining myself.
I totally get you.
Half the time when I'm on stage in front of an audience, there's like 500, 700, 1,000 people in the audience. I'm pretty much just entertaining myself.
I feel that.
I'm so bored sometimes that I just have to do things.
I'm so
entertain myself.
bored.
I'm so bored.
All right.
I'm going to mix it up.
Because here's the truth.
You know that I was on a speaking tour once?
In
And
2011.
I was on a speaking tour with other speakers.
Okay.
And we were so bored because we were all like, each
You
of
do the
us
same thing over and over.
Each of us were so just experienced in what we each did
Yeah.
that we got on stage and we were just like so bored out of our mind. So we started a game.
Yeah.
And we didn't tell the promoter that we were doing this game. And so what we would do is, Allie, my wife, was not one of the speakers. So she would find random pictures and she would slip the random pictures into
The deck.
she would slip a random picture into each of our slide decks, and we would have to make that work in our presentation in front of an audience of 1,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you're like, blah, 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 slide deck, blah, 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 and then the next slide, blah, 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 blah. Holy shit, there's an Angry Birds pizza on the screen. What am I going to say about this? And you have to work it in. I was terrible at that, by the way. I fell on my face every time.
But it makes you stronger.
But the other presenters, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember one of my friends, Angelique Brewers. She was brilliant.
Yeah, I know her.
Allie slipped in a picture of Cat Dog, you know the cartoon?
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, blah, 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 and all of a sudden it's Cat Dog. And no one in the audience knew.
Yeah.
We all knew, there it is, let's see what happens. She's like, is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it like this? And then she went on a 5-minute riff. I mean, she could have turned into, she might have turned that into an entirely new line of business for herself off of this little riff that she did. It was hilarious.
You know what? It reminds me, we talked about this, I believe. Do we have this conversation about Louis C.K., that he would get so bored that he would start his set with the ending joke?
Yeah, I love that.
He would
Louis C.K. would get so bored that he would start
his set.
kind of like starting an audiobook for chapter 2.
Yeah. He would start his set with the ending joke and try to work his way out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
So it's really, there's a great book called Speak and Get Rich by Dottie.
I don't know this one.
Speak and Grow Rich. Look it up. And
Dottie Walters.
Dottie Walters, yeah, it's a great book.
Larry Winget talks about this woman. That's where I know that name. Is she?
Larry Winget talks about her too?
I believe so.
I discovered this book when I was at the Florida Bar learning how to do this. And what she recommends is, don't think you're gonna go out and get paid to do a speech until you've done that speech for free 50 times. When you're sitting there thinking about what you're gonna have for dinner that night while you're doing your speech, that's when you know you nailed it, right? I can remember, it's almost like you have this outer body experience where you're you're doing your presentation, you're doing your thing, but you are in a completely different place, and it's like conscious dreaming. It's actually,
It's a little scary. At least
I was
for me.
gonna say addictive. It's you get a high, like a runner's high.
For me, I haven't spoken as much as you, but I've spoken a lot, and so it's scary because I catch my mind wandering, and I'm like, holy shit! Have I been saying what I'm supposed to say? How do I get back? It's kind of funny.
So it's like a runner's high. Right? It's like a speaker's high. It's really fun. You done it?
Oh yeah, we both got paid to speak to our first time 2 years ago, and it was when you're preparing to get up there. That's why you have to. I realized, oh shit, that's why you need a clock.
You need a clock, right?
You cannot focus.
Yeah, you have to have
it
speak.
literally, you're like, wait, it's been you're worried about speaking an hour, then you're like, wait, I don't have more time.
So Mike Koenig and I are doing a seminar at the end of February, as you know, because you're producing it. I see you waving. Hang on.
I heard it was sold out.
Sorry, I have questions.
Eric. So Mike Koenig and I are doing this seminar at the end of February on how to
Speaking from selling from stage.
speaking and selling, how to sell from stage. Which is completely sold out. It's been sold out for months, so I'm not trying to sell anything on it. Do you want to get on the list to get the recordings of it or something? I don't know, you gotta figure out how to do that. That was not an opening for you to ask me the question, that was me giving you instructions.
Link in bio.
I'm not asking you to give me a question, I'm still having a conversation with
I
Eric.
understand. I'm just telling them that they can sign up.
Make a note or figure out, make a note, Deanna, so that you now know you have this thing you have to follow up on, which is you need to give TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn world a mechanism by which they can tell us if they want to get the recordings from the seminar that Mike Koenig and I are doing to teach, where we're teaching how to sell from stage. Anyway, so what's really cool is when you get your presentation so dialed in that it's like, it's 10 o'clock, I'm on slide 14. Oh crap, I'm 2 slides behind. It's 10 o'clock and I'm on slide 14.
Yes.
Oh crap, I'm 2 slides ahead. And you basically start using your slides as your timer. I haven't done a presentation like that in years because I literally got so bored doing presentations like that, that now every presentation that I do is like branded. Because I miss it.
You love the thrill. Let's face it.
I like the thrill.
You do like the thrill.
I do like.
But here's
I
what's-
do like performing without a net. That's true.
Yeah.
When you do it 50 times, it's like you're performing with a net.
Yes.
Which is why you should definitely do it that way.
Of
Perform
course.
50 times, the same presentation. Try to nail it word for word for word, beat by beat by beat. Try to do that at the beginning of your speaking career. Like she, ha, re. She, ha, re. First you, she, ha, re, Dylan. You're in the she part. You're not even writing it down. This is why I know you're in the she part.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Learn the
Which is precisely why you're in the she of the she, ha, re. Because you're so in the she of the she, ha, re, Dylan and Deanna both, that you don't even know that when someone drops some fucking knowledge on you that can change your life, the thing to do is write it down. I'm literally saying write it down in either of your resources.
I'm at a computer. I'm so ready to write this down. Word is open.
Well then, I've said she, ha, re 4 times, and it hasn't been typed out.
But you are on Clubhouse.
Learn the rule, master the rule, break the rule, done.
Sure, learn the rule, master the rule, break the rule. Touche, Deanna.
Ooh, I did it, guys.
Deanna's like, I don't have to write it down.
No, I
know
do.
what it means. All right, Dylan then
I
is
learned
the
this from
sole
your content, by the way.
beneficiary of this lesson. Anyway,
We have a question. It's
when you're in the she part of she, ha, re, do the speech 50 times, over and over and over and over again until you nail it. Once you get that, then break the rules, then just fucking do it without a net.
All right. No questions.
No
No
questions.
questions.
2 seconds.
No.
2
No.
seconds, 2 seconds, what's 2 seconds?
How is general speaking engagement different from selling from stage?
How's what?
How is general speaking engagement different from selling from stage? Is there a difference between selling from stage and selling?
And
You're
speak.
either getting paid to speak or you're speaking to get paid. All right. I prefer to speak to get paid. You tend to get paid significantly more when you speak to get paid as opposed to getting paid to speak. All right. If anyone's interested in learning either of these skills, Deanna
Yes.
is going to have a way for you to let us know, and we'll share the recordings or share some additional resources. If you wake up a year from now and you're still broke and you can't figure out how to get paid to speak because Deanna didn't provide these resources with you, you can go onto her social media accounts and follow up with her and say, why the fuck didn't you show me how to get rich? It's your fault that I'm broke. Deanna. All right.
Ready? Smiling. Where did these where? Let's start there.
Editor, note, still on chapter.
Introduction.
If we don't edit, we're good on that. So
Editor
just-
note still on introduction.
Yeah, we're good on that. When we finish, we'll do another notes.
What page are we on?
Well, we're at the introduction.
Tell me the page number.
2.
Page 2 of the manuscript. Page number. There's a numbering system. It's Microsoft Word.
4.
Page 4 of the Microsoft Word document. I'm trying to make this easier for the editor. The editor's like, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they're
I
doing.
feel like I'm putting a message in a bottle for the editor.
Yeah. This is so much extra content
For sure.
me to go through.
All right, are we ready? Waiting for the train and then we go.
Yeah, nice deep breath. Take a drink, maybe. Clear, you're good?
Good, I'm good.
Okay,
We're good?
we're good.
So, where did these ideas originate from? These ideas began with a discovery, or more accurately, a series of discoveries that could very well form the most important realization that you might ever arrive at as an entrepreneur. Because it's not enough to deliver a great product or a service. You also have to understand how to market so you can have clients or customers to deliver your great products or services to. In other words, you have to understand marketing. You cannot just expect to do great work and have that automatically attract great clients and customers and referrals. Wouldn't it be great if the world worked that way? But it doesn't. So let's just think about this rationally for a minute. And then you're going to understand just how misguided most business owners are when they go around bragging about how they rely on referrals for all of their new business. Whether you've recognized it or not, you are mostly in the business of solving other people's problems with your products or your services. And the first thing that your customers or clients probably want to do as soon as you have solved their problem is they want to put that problem behind them and not think about it anymore. So it's not like most of them are going around looking for opportunities to think about the problems that they solved and put behind them so they can tell other people about your services. At least they're not going to be looking for opportunities to tell other people about your services until we engineer a way to make that happen. So it's naive to believe that you've got all these customers and clients out there evangelizing for your business. It's naive and unrealistic to expect that evangelizing for your business is going to figure into their top 10 or even their top 100 things of things they're thinking about on a daily basis. And this is why entrepreneurs who go around bragging that they settle for only having as much business as referrals may bring, they're either lying to you, and in fact, they are really out there doing a lot of marketing that they're just not telling you about, or they're starving for business, or at the very least, leaving a lot of business still on the table. Now, if they're starving for business, which is a condition that affects a statistically high percentage of small business owners, it could be that they are telling you the truth and they're passively waiting for the phone to ring and leaving a mountain of opportunities for other entrepreneurs like you and us. Or they could be engaged in the wrong kind of marketing. Either way, Danny and I believe that business owners who neglect the marketing of their business, they are also neglecting the responsibility that we as entrepreneurs have to actively market the availability of valuable solutions which make our which make the lives of our customers and clients and patients and passengers better.
Can you give me that? Give me that one more time, please.
Either way, Danny and I believe that as business owners,
No.
either way, Danny and I believe that business owners who neglect the marketing of their businesses, they neglect their responsibility to actively market the availability of valuable solutions which their products and services represent, and give their customers, clients, patients, diners, the opportunity to have a better life. Of course, most of the struggling businesses, most of the owners of struggling businesses who settle for just waiting around for the phone to ring, or who, that's a great sentence to read, a hard sentence to say. Like air, it sucks the lungs out of your hair, the way this sentence is written. Try it again. Oh. Of course, most of the owners of struggling businesses who settle for just waiting around for the phone to ring, or who rely on that crap that passes for marketing for most small businesses, those owners have probably never learned about the sort of direct response, trackable, education-based, highly ethical, and wildly profitable marketing that you are going to be exposed to throughout this book. So maybe we can give them a break. But the fact that you are reading these words right now means, but the fact that you are listening to these words right now means you are more likely, but the fact that you are listening to these words right now means you are likely more entrepreneurially mature than most small business owners. And while they can still hold on to their immature fairy tales about being the best leads to success, you know better. Because you already know that you can be the most skilled technician in the world and still starve with no business. You can offer the best services in your market and still starve with no business. You can have the most positive attitude in the world. You can have the most positive attitude in the world and still starve with no new clients or patients or passengers or diners or customers coming to your door. You can stand willing to provide great value, great service, great expertise, and great value, and still starve with no prospects coming to your door to hire your firm or do business with your company. Your business can literally be a paragon of virtues, with the world singing your praises 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even as you bask in the glory and the applause, you can still starve if you don't have a reliable way of bringing a consistent, predictable stream of prospective new customers to your door. The realization you've probably come to, which is probably what led you to this book, is that you could very well starve. You won't get rich, and you certainly won't have peace of mind unless and until you have an affordable, efficient, and dependable means of attracting a sufficient flow of qualified leads and prospects who you can convert into customers, clients, patients, passengers, diners, or whatever you call the people who do business with your company. Most business owners, they sort of know this, but they still focus on everything but the one thing that will make all the difference in the world to their success: marketing.
One more time
Marketing.
without the clap.
Marketing. Marketing. Marketing.
Okay.
Give the editors some choices.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be funny if they make the wrong choice?
Marketing.
Marketing! Wouldn't it be funny if they make the wrong choice? And then, like, we get like a flood of people on social media who start calling it marketing, and it becomes like a new catchphrase, and we've already fired the editor, and then we ask them to come back, and we're like, fuck you, I told you that was gonna be a thing. Entrepreneurs, we have a responsibility to market our services. People really do need your products and services. But despite all the advertising everywhere you look, it's actually pretty hard for most people to find the help they need to solve the problems they have in life. You want some proof? Well, just think about this. Consider the fact that even a simple search on the internet, oh my God, it produces so many advertisements. And, you know, it's possible that all those businesses that are spending all the money for all those ads, they're just a bunch of total idiots who don't bother to track or measure their ROI. And so they don't know that they're throwing their money away. And that's probably the case for some of them. But isn't it more likely that the only reason you see so many businesses advertising so much on the internet is because that advertising must be producing at least some business for them? In other words, the fact that so many people find themselves with no better choice than to conduct a Google search to find the help they need they're looking for when they have a problem.
One more time, sorry.
In other words, the fact that so many people find themselves with no better choice than to conduct a Google search to find the help they need when they've got a problem or they're searching for a way to maximize an opportunity. The fact that they've got no better option than to search on Google, that's pretty strong evidence that there are a lot of people out there who need help and don't know where to find it. Because wouldn't you think that if they had anywhere else to turn, a friend, a family member, a trusted advisor, anything, wouldn't they do that first before they go to Google? Marketing allows business owners who seriously study and embracing it. It allows
No. Marketing.
Marketing allows business owners who seriously study and embrace it. It allows us to live up to our moral obligations as entrepreneurs. And Danny and I feel strongly that this is a moral obligation that we should take seriously. We have an obligation as entrepreneurs who create value in this world to be sure that when a person needs the product or the service that we have created to make their lives better, that the prospect can find the help they need. We shouldn't just be sitting around waiting for them to find us. We should make it easy for them to find us. We just think that's the right thing to do. Marketing also addresses the responsibilities that all business owners have to all of those people who are depending on their business to remain viably profitable. Like your family and your staff who took a job expecting you to still be in business 6 months from now. When built, tested, refined, and proven to work day in and day out, even when you're not there working, which is a beautiful thing, your automatic marketing machine will become one of the most valuable assets of your business because it will keep working and working and working to create value for you. In addition, it's critical to understand that many of the frustrations and internal management problems that you're probably experiencing with your business today can be traced back to not having a good marketing machine in place. Many businesses stand ready to provide great products and services delivered by caring employees with the best of intentions, but they fail because they don't have enough sales opportunities. To paraphrase Thoreau, most entrepreneurs lead lives of quiet desperation because they don't know how to create a steady and sufficient supply of customers and clients. Yes.
I just said heard a horn. That was
Horn?
Yeah.
In addition, start at the top of the paragraph.
Just back, yeah.
In addition, it is critical to understand that many of the frustrations and internal management problems that you may be experiencing with your business today can actually be traced to not having a good marketing machine in place. Many businesses stand ready to provide great products and services delivered by caring employees who actually have really good intentions, but they fail because they don't have enough sales opportunities. To paraphrase Thoreau, most entrepreneurs lead lives of quiet desperation because they do not know how to create a steady and sufficient supply of prospects. How long till we get to the end of this chapter?
It's on this page. Yeah, you're on the home stretch.
Is now a good time to remind Danny that he said that if we get through 5 chapters today,
Yeah.
he's buying drinks and
Hell
dinners
yeah.
at us and everyone else who wants to show up at a bar or restaurant to be decided in Coconut Grove today.
It's a deal. Deal still stands.
What if we have like 500 people show up?
You know how much money this book's gonna be worth when we get it done?
I love that confidence,
I love
baby.
that.
I love that.
That's why he's my co-author.
So why this book? Why now?
Indeed, Jimbo Marshall. Why this book and why now? When I met Danny Decker, my co-author, it was when he and his business partner snuck into an event that I was hosting for a few hundred of the entrepreneurs whose small businesses, my own business, helps to manage. Danny, you crashed our game with, like, you had some style when you crashed our game. I don't even know how you got into the room. But you caught my attention, and eventually he earned my respect. And I'm so glad that he did, and that you handled yourself so well, because, and I'm kind of proud of myself that I have the maturity to keep an open mind, because that first encounter, it could have gone either way. And I'm really glad it went the right way. That was back in 2012. I was 41 years old, and Danny was 27 years old. You were like a little baby. In the years that followed, Danny has been a client of mine, and I have been a client of his. We have had the opportunity to collaborate on many different projects for each other's businesses and for mutual clients that we've worked on together. And the common thread in all of our work together has been our mutual obsession with the philosophy of direct response marketing and the power that direct response marketing has to transform any business in any industry, in any
Hold on.
Hold on, let me try to fix this.
The comment. Just start with the comment, please.
What?
The comment right here.
The common thread in all of our work together has been a mutual obsession with the philosophy of direct response marketing and the power that direct response marketing has to transform any business in any industry and in any economic climate when it's properly applied and properly executed. When it is properly applied and consistently executed. The principles in this book, they've been taught in various forms. The principles in this book, look, this stuff has been taught in various forms for hundreds of years. They've been tested over and over and over again by businesses of all shapes and sizes, in all different kinds of industries, all around the world, by entrepreneurs just like you and us, who have used these very same strategies to scale and grow and differentiate their businesses, to rise above the competition and quickly demand and receive top dollar for their products and services. So we are here to give you the entire vision, plus the architecture, plus the tools, plus a whole bunch of bonus materials you can find throughout this book to help you make this vision into your new reality. We want to help you become the prosperous owner of a real business that works for you, to free you from the endless, desperate need for where is that next new prospect going to come from. The teachings in this book will allow you to create certainty and security and stability and predictability and give you confidence. We're going to give you the blueprint and give you confidence to turn down that next crazy client or customer or patient or passenger or diner, because you're going to know you've got a steady stream of prospects coming to you tomorrow and next week and next month. We are going to give you the blueprint to create a continuous and steady inflow of desired clients who trust your business, rely on your business, and refer their friends and family and business acquaintances to your business. The teachings in this book will allow you to create real equity in your business, and not just day-by-day income, though it will help with that too.
Pause. What's the beeping? Is that just the stage, or you rocking?
AC maybe?
I heard it beeping.
I hear it too. It's like a multi-timer beeping. It's
Yeah.
like weird.
Is that maybe you're just rocking back and forth?
I'll get off the stage. Here. Yeah, sure.
I just heard it.
I think we're good.
Okay.
It's outside.
It's like it just came up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's finish this out.
Thanks for letting me finish the chapter. I'm like 3 sentences.
I know.
No, it's not you.
It's not you.
Okay.
No, I can't.
Now I can't not hear it.
I know.
Yeah, I hear it. But I don't see it on the audio.
We don't see it on the audio level, so just finish this out and we'll take a look.
Some things cannot be unseen, Dylan.
That's true.
It's true. Did you catch me picking my nose? What happened?
This book?
Some things cannot be unseen.
Finish it out.
Are you just making him anxious? Like, what is it?
I'm waiting to see if he picks up on the reference, since the rest of you missed it. I just assumed Dylan is cooler than the rest of you. Some things cannot be unseen. Anyone? Anyone?
Bueller?
Taking notes.
Some things cannot be
Thank you.
unseen. Does no one watch The League?
Oh, jeez.
I have to just warn everyone at home, it is the most raunchy, inappropriate, politically incorrect show
That's
I've
like.
ever seen. And if you watch it and it offends you, I'm giving you this disclaimer. Because some things cannot be unseen. Am I right, Dylan?
That's right. I love that show. I'm over here Googling now.
Good, I'm glad that you're Googling The League instead of doing whatever you're supposed to be doing. That I hate. All right.
Just
Can't win.
Hey, it's been great, guys.
I just can't wait.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it on that note.
I made it to 9.
The teachings in this book will allow you to create certainty.
Sorry.
Thanks. I think that was like a subconscious passive aggressive.
Yeah, a little passive aggressive. Right.
It wasn't subconscious.
It wasn't subconscious.
Let's be clear.
Okay. I guess let's do this then. We're at that point of diminishing returns.
I know.
Ultradian rhythms.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna go back a little bit. The teachings in this book will allow you to create certainty and security and stability and predictability and confidence. It will give you the blueprint to create a continuous and steady inflow. It will give you the blueprint to create a continuous and steady inflow.
Hold.
What?
Sorry. It will give you.
It will give you the blueprint to create a continuous and steady inflow of desired clients or customers or patients or passengers or diners who trust your business, who rely on your business, who refer their friends and family and business acquaintances to you. The teachings in this book will allow you to create real equity and not just day-to-day income, although we'll help you with that too. This does not require any kind of special background. So take all your excuses and shove them up your ass. If you want to say, well, this worked for everyone else, but it won't work for me, it'll work for you. It just requires you to make a commitment to use what you're going to discover. You can apply it to any kind of business, serving any kind of market, in any kind of economic environment. And soon you will meet entrepreneurs in this book who are going to share their stories with you about exactly how they put this system to work for themselves. But for now, just know you can build an automatic marketing machine, and it will transform your business and your life forever. Let's begin.
Woo! Yeah! 2 chapters by 9 a.m. 2 chapters by 9 a.m.
Somebody needs to just watch the clock at 10. I gotta do the
Yeah, we got you.
practical,
Yeah.
profitable mindset.
Yeah.
Check.
RJon, before we get into the next chapter, I just want to show you that I wordsmithed yesterday and make sure that we're on the same page. College professors, first boss, second boss, all that.
Okay, let's
We're going to start with chapter 1 next, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
that's in chapter 1. Okay,
We're going to sit in your office for 5 minutes?
no, we'll do it right here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, talk it out.
We'll talk it out.
Yeah.
Eric,
And that's the whole point, right?
Exactly.
Like, the whole point
You're
is
back
that
Just
they understand. that this
Just
is
track hard drive space.
Yeah, right.
I get paranoid.
But I gotta sit down.
I'm actually on Jordan's right now.
Okay, great. Is that, yes.
Let's bring another chair over here, please.
Audio doesn't take as much.
Right.
I mean, put this way, an hour of audio was about maybe 60 megabytes.
Okay.
We'll check through you.
I just get paranoid because that hard drive is not.
Well, now that we're doing it on, now that I know, before I thought maybe they were going to be talking at the same time, but now that I know that they're alternating,
Go to one computer.
Lies, mistakes,
Good
I'll
call.
just do different tracks for
college professors.
Yeah, good call.
keep it simple, silly, right?
Yeah, man.
Do we need to move this?
Nah.
I thought you were a video professional. This is why I was bitching the other day when there was that cord.
I understand, for sure.
Because sooner or later I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. I'm glad it was
I just
later.
assumed it was going to be me.
I'm glad it was later. Carry on.
Jimbo,
Yeah.
is it possible? I feel like it's just gonna be a pain in the ass because we're making some tweaks
Yeah.
to the Google doc.
Of course.
Then it's gonna have to be downloaded again.
Of course.
Like, is there a way for you? Okay, but I was just saying,
I
does it
just-
make more sense for you just to display the Google doc?
I'm just not as familiar with
Okay, well then we'll just
display
we'll just
options.
re-download it before
Yeah.
we start.
Yeah.
It's the,
Oh, I'm not looking what they're looking at.
Like that?
I love it.
Like that?
Yeah, it's great.
They say you love it.
I love
And
that.
they're like, what is that? Well, you're going to have to tune in to watch me read it in a minute.
Reality is truth.
First of all, let's talk about truth. Truth is reality. Reality is truth. In other words, it is what it is. And one of the fundamental facts about truth is that while it can be changed by a person's actions,
Do you have a
Reality.
USB?
cannot be changed merely by your wishes or wants or desires, and not even by how good of a person you are. Truth is reality, and businesses that operate, truth is reality, and the reality and the reality of the matter. The reality of the matter. Truth is reality,
I just go straight into and businesses.
and businesses that operate from a place of truth tend to be much more profitable, especially in the long run. Now let's talk about lies. Lies are an intentional misrepresentation of a person's best understanding of the truth. We gotta explain something here. Truth is reality, reality is truth. In other words, it is what it is. One of the most fundamental, and one of the fundamental facts about the truth is that while it can be changed by a person's actions, reality cannot be changed merely by your wishes or wants or desires, and not even by how good of a person you are. Truth is not in the eye of the beholder. It is not. What is some other dumb shit that people say about truth whenever I do this exercise?
It's not relative.
People always say it's truth is in the eye of the beholder, which is fucking
You're on mic.
idiotic. I know.
Say something. Just making sure.
I want everyone at home who thinks truth is in the eye of the beholder to know that that's an idiotic, stupid, self-defeating thing to say, and they should stop saying it. Because it's stupid. Not in the eye of the beholder.
Now that I've seen it, I believe it. What is it?
You can
That's a joke.
believe or not believe.
That's a joke.
But the reality is reality, whether you see it or not.
For sure.
Whether you believe it or not. A lot of people think that if they don't believe it, it's like
It's an interesting paradox. There's subjective reality and there's objective
No,
reality.
there isn't. There's only reality.
True.
There's only
True.
reality.
Yeah.
There's no subjective reality. There's only reality.
What I mean is, people will have a momentum in a certain belief that locks us into a perceived reality, and such like
It's
the
not a
4
perceived
the
reality.
4 minute.
It's not a perceived reality.
I understand.
It's your perception of reality, but it's your perception of an objective reality.
Correct. It's always
You
a question of what's actually possible. Like the 4 minute mile, the doctor said it wasn't possible. Science said it wasn't possible. And then Rogers Bannister busts through it, and then now high school kids are doing it. So there's power in belief for sure, but truth is, like you said, it's
Reality
objective.
is reality.
Absolutely,
That's the point.
I agree with you.
It is not up for it is not up for debate.
The truth is not in the eye of the beholder. It is not subjective. What is some other dumb shit that people say? Look, maybe they can remind us. Ask them if they can tell me some other dumb things that people say, like truth is in the eye of the beholder.
Guys, give
It's
us some
not
comments.
subjective.
It's not
It
subjective.
is not up for negotiation.
It is not.
How about this one?
Well, no, you can negotiate, you can debate.
It's common sense.
Are you guys able to hear me?
What's common sense?
Like truth.
You know, people will say that's
Truth
just
is not common sense. Who fucking thinks that?
Like there is a.
People think someone wrote truth is common sense? Okay, good, because that's just.
I don't think you can hear me. I'm gonna text
don't think
RJon.
People
not
say
bad.
something they believe is true. They'll assume that what they believe is true is common
Yes,
sense.
they say how
even if it's
how
not
can it
true.
not be? Yeah. It's like-
Truth is not in the eye of the beholder.
It is not subjective.
There is no such thing.
I just texted him. We'll see if he takes it.
Subjective.
What you said, where we have HDMI, USB-C,
There is no such thing as more than one. What do you say? Perception?
Perceived truth.
Perceived reality?
Yeah.
Truth. Perceived. None of them have any suggestions?
No.
How many do we have?
Cool.
Instagram is empty at the moment, and
Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna end up. We discussed this yesterday, but
There's there's
okay, that'd be great.
perceptions.
100%.
There, of course.
Already know how to optimize it and make it a proper format.
Yeah.
But he also is capable of putting on pauses.
Yeah, if you have somebody, I don't
Absolutely, while we were looking
Okay.
at ways to heavily, but
yeah, I love that. I've already got an account, I use
Still
Fiverr.
reality.
I have a tendency, so I'm obviously
Perceived
marketing it, so it's
differently by different.
video, audio, so that's backup.
Okay, great.
I mean, imagine if you just export that audio from by choosing channel audition, just send it to someone who's just good at it, and delivery time is 4 days.
Yeah.
Tools.
4 days.
Perception.
Necessary, but yeah, great. So, yeah, I was gonna say, you overheard that we're gonna end up
Business
in Coconut Grove.
be more profitable.
Yeah. I've been pushing Thai food, that was precious. Yeah.
Take this point seriously.
That's the first time that I ever had was Tom Cox.
Truth is reality.
I think I found a way for us to.
Businesses that operate.
And businesses
Okay.
It's like
operate
me yesterday.
Oh, this
much
whole
more
thing?
profitable,
This guy has an HDMI out.
Great.
especially
So I could be putting it on a big monitor.
Great.
lies are
This
possible.
little like large monitor. and I
Bullshit
put it
is
on
what
the
we love.
webcam. So we found HDMI to USB. We're gonna see if it's gonna feed into StreamYard.
I'm
just gonna select that as my webcam instead of this.
Yeah, yeah, that,
And it's still recording it, but let's
Yeah.
talk about.
And even if I can't select it as my webcam, as long as it's streaming on my computer, I can just share my screen and then be the host too on YouTube.
great, I love it.
It's gonna work.
Yep.
Clubhouse is going.
College professors.
Yeah.
Clubhouse is going. Okay.
And you're still free to run with, you know, streamer in between stuff. So multi-cam will be like where RJon's on camera.
Mhm.
You know, we're sitting like this, but you can still be walking around, you guys are doing like updates and stuff in between.
Yeah.
Because the phone's gonna be an app first.
Notes.
So we're waiting on bring that adapter.
Yeah. Yeah, you see how it goes, when you came out of USB-C, so, which is rare. He's so funny, he loves to fight and wrestle and jiu-jitsu. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So Eric, we did break audio record back here, right?
I think it's. Actually, just to stress you out, I'm just recording constantly in your laptop, as well as, actually, that's not fun.
I also have the issue with Dropbox. And we, you know, what's syncing and what's not syncing. So there'll be times when all of a sudden I turn around and I've got like 12 gigs available because I accidentally.
I'll be honest, I've never been a fan of Dropbox.
I'm not a fan of Dropbox. It's just a company-wide thing.
Yeah, I prefer OneDrive or, you know, something that's.
We're, even the tech guys are trying to get the move to OneDrive, but there's just resistance because it's always been done on Dropbox and everybody's used to Dropbox, so one of those
There'll
things.
be moments.
How safe is it to experiment with this right now on your computer?
Good. You like the key?
Yeah,
it's great.
No, we can try it.
Would you like to talk in a type?
Are
Are you good? We need you to move over here.
Yeah, it's good. My mom's just so
One of the things that we work towards, share that now is, obviously, the process, I'm trying to get to the point, but we want to be able to.
Okay,
Okay. So before I just hand over to Jordan, it's not organized and labeled.
Right.
It runs into an issue, so that's
Yeah.
figuring that out. So pretty much getting that figured out. Now what I'm realizing is in this moment here, I really don't have Jordan sitting here working this.
Yeah.
So if I had between me and Dylan working this
Yeah.
and that and the notes, and by today, my goal is like we're doing this today, I'm going to dinner and all that, and then I want to figure out stuff by tomorrow. While we're filming this kind of stuff, that Jordan can be on a computer doing his creative shit,
Mm-hmm.
making the highlight reels and stuff, try to create some ideas around that because we're really that's the
I love it.
that's the bottleneck we're running into.
When you see Jeff again, will you just keep me top of mind? There's a stand that goes on this monitor.
Okay,
I would love to know where that stand is.
okay.
Or Jordan, if you want to go walk out there and find him and go.
I'm gonna switch you out
Jimbo's
quick.
asking for the stand that goes on this monitor in here.
Done.
Yeah.
You're gonna be offline on this for a little bit to start.
And should we consider breaking the stream, restarting the stream? What do you think?
Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
Yeah. So this is yeah. So switch.
DJ, give me your phone.
Okay, so
No, I was gonna email HR about when you get the file. Did I do that? Did I not do that?
that's Danny from there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I want to see what happens. I want to see what the feed looks like via monitor.
I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
Actual, like, this is not where the legs are, you need the actual legs, honestly.
Yeah, because we want to use it as a monitor for editing. Like, yeah,
You see the.
yeah. I believe the power supply's there, so.
Okay, now I understand what you guys do.
Thank you, man. Dude, when you guys get hooked up to this monitor, whoo, it's beautiful.
Review, what am I saying? Review campaign performance, review metrics. And track ROI, campaign performance, metrics.
Oh, snap. Okay. Okay.
Never see it live preview, but I want to see if. Yeah, we get that. We know we have students. We just push it on this. See what switch cameras on that too. It's like.
Just FYI, your phone's not powered.
Yeah.
I got another plug. It's on your phone. That's cool. He really is a miracle worker this year. Like whatever I ask for, he's like, you got it. Like, okay, cool.
What else do you guys need? Make a list.
Yeah. So there's your power supply, Jordan. So if you just want to take this and move it.
Look at the coupon that you did.
Yeah.
Got one more question for you.
It's usually not as powerful, though, because I'm assuming it's not usually.
It's just such a cool it is.
What's the name again, man?
$9:20, guys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able, you think I can get half an hour, 20 minutes? I mean,
I do.
if I get back on in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I can get 30 minutes solid in before I go?
100%. Yeah, just keep me updated so I can move stuff around when you're getting close.
Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as the doc's fine.
Is there some sort of split? Because I know there's a way to something like
USB-C HDMI connections in the laptop are designed to output footage, not receive it. It's a one-way stream.
right.
That's the issue. So, but there is hardware that might be able to. You need it almost like the things going into a webcam. So you see your computer and it's like, but that's it's weird that at least that's what I'm reading on forums and blogs. I'm still.
It doesn't matter. It's just. It just looks cool. Yeah. We do have multiple boxes back there that are.
How cool?
But I think you're right. It's
Yeah,
not
I like it.
But
And I think, honestly, I think we should kill those two. I think they
some kind of
are no longer
Yeah,
necessary.
If it can be done, I'll figure that shit out.
Yeah.
That's just shit. But you can
So
see
there
it's
you have it,
designed
and
for
my
us to
two-
sit here in conference, you're speaking, and we'll have a monitor. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Is it ours? That's it. Ooh. That was the back. This was all in the back. That's what it is.
You're gonna see that.
Give you a whole screen then?
And then yeah, it's not ideal because this needs to be dedicated because you need one person to focus on this, you need a person to live stream to focus on, or you need two devices for that because you need to do those things.
Yeah.
Crucial. So, never said we would work. It's not sure what happens if there's a point which you can make somebody you can go to, you can go to. Just like that. I'll switch it up. It's not-
This is chapter 2?
Chapter 1.
It's still chapter 1.
This is chapter 1. Correct.
This is before the Africa thing, right?
Correct.
So what I want to do then is like, off Jordan, extract the full nuggets, and start
References to the
pushing this together, right? Like highlight those things. Or it's maybe just the two of us. All this right here. You see that?
Yeah, it's a capital.
Going on rant. I got that done. Like, you know, like, you pick them up and then you throw them down, you pick them up, I got a view of some more.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And then you just land back with, there you have it, you've been lined up.
Or you delete.
Do you want to break this just for your own readability? Should we break it a few lines? That's just a big ass paragraph.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is, because RJon doesn't have a key fob either.
30 seconds.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so you gotta grab the new doc.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
use the
yeah.
bathroom.
Yep,
Yep.
me too.
Leave this off.
Yeah, leave, please.